the New Orleans Pelicans select Zion Williamson from Duke University.
From what led to his rise in basketball, to some rappers wearing his gear, and more. Join me as I show you 10 things you didn't know about Zion Williamson.
Do you want to win any of these items on your screen? If so, be sure to watch the whole video, leave a like, and comment the hidden message. And with that being said, let's get right into the video.
Number 10. His parents raised him to be a guard.
You'll be the #1 player in the country.
Believe it or not, Williamson was rarely the largest player on his youth teams, so his parents focused on developing his point guard skills. Yes, that sounds crazy now, but then, not so much. It was very much like Michael Jordan, if you will, in terms of how he went from average to great because of his height. Anyway, the extra work on ball handling, passing, and court vision proved beneficial for Williamson after a while, especially after he grew from 5'9" to 6'6" between the 8th and 10th grade. This growth spurt transformed Williamson from an above-average hard-working player into a once-in-a-generation talent that is being praised all the time nowadays, even with the lockdown going on. Williamson had grown to 6'3" prior to his freshman season at Spartanburg Day School in Spartanburg, South Carolina, but there was one problem: he still couldn't dunk. So the 14-year-old Williamson spent his summer in the gym, working hours on end to improve his jumping ability. Eventually, it all clicked for Williamson when he tried to throw himself an alley-oop off the backboard. This setup allowed him to clear his mind and finally reach the rim. The rest is history, and that history has been viewed on YouTube many millions of times, which again helped him build up the hype for himself as he went to college and beyond. Speaking of which, Number 9. Hyped up sitting down.
Ghosted him.
Zion!
There are going to be a lot of ironies about Zion when people talk about his first year in the NBA. First and foremost is because of the lockdown that's preventing the NBA from finishing the season currently. And even if the lockdown is lifted in the next few weeks, Zion isn't likely to play because his team wasn't really in contention for the playoffs. So depending on what they decide, the Pelicans, his team, likely won't be coming back. Which brings us to the other irony of his rookie year. Mainly that despite being the #1 draft pick, he didn't start his rookie season until January because of injury. But you wouldn't have known that via ESPN and other sports networks who couldn't help but talk about and wonder what it would be like if Zion played right then and there. Granted, they were saying they wanted him to play no matter what, but his talent and hype had reached such levels that they desired to play him as soon as possible. When he did arrive, his impact was felt. And thank goodness, because if he didn't live up to the hype, a lot of people would have felt stupid for how much they praised him. Number 8. Drake wore his high school jersey.
Okay.
Celebrities wearing professional athletes' jerseys are normal. Sometimes you even see them wearing college jerseys, depending on how good they are. However, you never see a celebrity come out wearing a high school athlete's jersey, especially someone like Drake. That should go to show you how hyped up Zion was coming out of high school. Think about it like this. How many players coming out of high school have been hyped up to extreme levels? Michael Jordan wasn't. Not really. Lebron James was, and his going from high school to the NBA prompted the one-and-done rule by the league as a result. So when you're getting hyped up that early, yeah, that's special. Not only did Zion pick up millions of social media followers after Drake's photo, but it helped him gain some serious exposure. Number 7. Almost went to Clemson. According to Zion's stepdad, he was close to committing to play his college basketball at Clemson. Yes, Clemson, who took advantage of the proximity to where he played high school ball in South Carolina to gain an advantage in his recruitment. In the end, the Duke lure was too great for him to pass on, especially noting that Duke was putting together what it believed was a generational type of team with fellow stars like R.J. Barrett and Cam Reddish. The 2018-19 Duke team fell short of expectations, however, bowing out to Michigan State in the Elite Eight of the 2019 NCAA tournament. It was actually a former Michigan State walk-on, Kenny Goins, who hit the game-winning three-point shot for Michigan State, as Zion, who was defending Goins, wasn't able to close out on him fast enough. But still, that year at Duke was enough to make him the #1 draft choice, so clearly he wasn't hurting, though it does raise questions about what would have happened if he went to Clemson. Number 6. Football player?
Launching for the end zone, jump ball, touchdown!
Not only was Zion known in the basketball world, but his build also helped him receive a football scholarship from LSU. Think about that. LSU just won a national championship this year, and Zion received a scholarship to play tight end. He certainly has the build for it, but he, of course, decided to take the basketball route, which was also the smarter route. This is another of those what-if scenarios that you have to play in your head. What would have happened if Zion went and played football, and was good at it? You can't argue results, though. Basketball was much better suited to Zion, while also having less injury risk in both the long and short term. Still, what if? Number 5. He killed Nike's stock.
He broke his shoe with his own foot.
There were a lot of highlight moments from Zion Williamson's 1 year at Duke University, and the world was waiting for him to lead the Duke Blue Devils against their rivals in the North Carolina Tar Heels. Even former President Barack Obama was there to watch it happen. But then, his shoe blew up. Or more accurately, it ripped itself apart. How could someone's shoe, even Zion's, come apart so easily? No one really knows, but we all saw Zion rip through his Nike Paul George 2.5s pretty smoothly in the opening minutes of the Duke-UNC game. Zion endured a knee injury as a result, leading to Nike's stock plummeting by over $1 billion. Nike immediately took a trip to Durham to craft a custom-made shoe for Zion and right that ship, which probably helped smooth some things over, but the memory will be eternal. Let's go back to the stock crash for a minute, though. A college kid's shoe made Nike's stock drop $1 billion because it exploded off of him while he was playing. That's not something anyone can say, not even MJ and LeBron. Which again goes to show just how much people wanted to see him play, no matter what. Number 4. Zion vs. LaMelo.
I think we both played a good game, but his team won.
There was a time when Zion was one of the 2 biggest names in high school hoops social media circles. The other was LaMelo Ball. The month after Zion appeared on the cover of Slam, he and LaMelo, playing for the Big Baller squad led by LeVar, squared off in a highly anticipated AAU game at the Adidas Uprising Summer Championships. Zion's club won 104-92, with the scene described as chaotic because of the number and intensity of fans. Kansas coach Bill Self said it was unreal and he had never seen anything like it. A number of NBA players, including Damian Lillard, Jamal Murray, and Andrew Wiggins, were there to watch. Given that this was the technical and literal future of the league, that's not a surprise. But what's also not a surprise is that Zion helped crush the Big Baller squad. Of course, the irony in that now is that Zion is teammates with LaMelo's brother in Lonzo Ball on the Pelicans, and he beats Lonzo in stats and such too. Number 3. Zion and Khalil.
Takes those things and he outworks everybody.
Standing at 6'7" and weighing in at 287 pounds will pretty much pose a mismatch for whoever an opposing team puts on you. And Michigan State coach Tom Izzo knew as much before his team meeting Duke in the Elite Eight of the 2019 NCAA tournament. But Izzo had a unique comparison for Zion. He compared him to Bears linebacker defensive lineman Khalil Mack, another dominant athlete, albeit in a different sport. You might think this is odd, but it's a fair analogy. You see, Mack was a dominant force on the Oakland Raiders when he got drafted, and then he was given to the Bears for some major draft picks. His first season with the Bears was almost MVP worthy because of his explosiveness and ability to get things done, not unlike Zion. Number 2. He was working hard when he was 9.
I started thinking about making the NBA once I got to the age, 8 or 9.
If you look at players like MJ, LeBron, Curry, Durant, and more, you'll see that they really worked hard in order to make it to the NBA. And Zion felt that need when he was young. He told his mother he wanted to be the best in the country when he was just 5. By 9, he was already busting his butt in basketball, training to make sure that he was as sharp as he could be. There's little wonder why he was so good by the time he made it to high school and college. He had already put in the hours to make sure he could do everything he needed in order to dominate. Number 1. He comes from good athletic stock.
He's worked since 5 for this moment.
How do you become a good athlete? We already noted Zion trained hard for it, but if you look at his family line, some genetics kicked in, no doubt. Zion was born in Salisbury, North Carolina, as the son of Lateef Williamson and Sharonda Sampson. Zion's father was a defensive line committed to NC State before attending Livingstone College, where he met Zion's mother, a track star at the school. After Zion's parents divorced, his mother married former Clemson basketball player Lee Anderson, who was instrumental in developing Zion's skills on the court. So as you can see, he not only had the genetic legacy of an athlete, he had the right people training him to be a star. And as noted earlier, the results speak for themselves.
A simple reminder on how to enter our brand new giveaway. We will be giving away either an iPhone X Max, the new iPad mini, or a MacBook Pro. It's really your choice. So be sure to leave a like, comment the keyword, subscribe, and turn on notifications to enter the giveaway. It's really that simple. Go for it.
So what do you think? What do you think about Zion Williamson and these interesting facts about him? Can you believe some of the things he's done? What do you think his NBA career will be like? Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time on the channel.